Yeah, it's been a massive couple of weeks for you. Broke through for the biggest win of your career, beating Joel Vaughan in the final of the WQS 5000 in Taiwan. And what was that, last Thursday night? Yeah, played a solid role in the new Epokhe Blockbuster vacuum, which premiered in front of a packed house at the Northern in Byron Bay. How are you feeling at the moment?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good. Definitely had a pretty big last 2 weeks, and yeah, pretty stoked to get a win over in Taiwan, and then come home and get to watch that new Pocky film Vacuum. That's been in the works for like a fair while. Seems like it's been, I don't know, been a fair while that we've been waiting for that to come out. So it was epic to see the Northern all packed out with everyone the other night, and yeah, get to watch it finally.
Oh, it was chockers in there, wasn't it? It was fully at fever pitch. I can't remember really seeing it that packed since maybe the flood relief concert, which was a couple of years earlier. But yeah, that was like, it just goes to show there's, mate, the Pocky's got some serious pulling power, and that's unsurprising given the team, mate. I mean, talk to us about the team you're a part of. It's like the Harlem Globetrotters of surfing. You've pretty much got every kind of free surfer you want to watch, plus a couple of XCT guys, and then you've got one of the goats in Oki heading it up. It's a crazy compilation of talent.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild team. I don't know. It's like the capacity that the Northern has. I seen like it feels like it was a pretty big area, and it was. I heard they were turning crew away, and then a few of my mates got there like after the movie had finished. But yeah, the team's crazy. Everyone that rides for a Pocky just rips and is. I don't know. It feels like we've just got or they've got so many of the best free surfers from all over. And I feel like even like with the crew that were there the other night, there's still so many people that weren't there, like Chipper and Aton and all the guys that weren't here. So yeah, I don't know. I reckon it's definitely the best team in surf at the moment for sure.
And how do you feel being a part of a team like that, man? I mean, yeah, that must be just such an honor and must be blowing your mind. You know, a kid from sleepy little Yamba, and now you're included in one of the great teams of the modern era of surfing that I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it's epic. Pretty privileged to be a part of it. Get to hang out with all those boys and shoot with like Kai Neville and work with Dion and Kai and Colborne and just all the boys there. It's epic. They're all very inclusive and make you feel like you're needed and wanted there, which is epic to be have that feeling of such a crazy team. It's epic.
Yeah, and I mean, given that you won this event, you know it's kind of your breakthrough victory in Taiwan. But then on the other hand, you've got this kind of burgeoning like free surfing career. They're really on the rise in parallel to each other. Like, which path would you prefer, world tour or free surfing?
Yeah, either or. I feel like I never really make like a solid decision. This year I've sort of finally made a decision to have a kind of a crack at QS. I know it's always been a goal just to make that CT and see how I go. I feel like I don't know. I really like how like Dane Reynolds or like Mikey Wright and Yago sort of did it with having both options open. To me, that's epic, and that's what I want to do is like have both options and be able to do both. Even if I was to qualify, I'd still like to do the free surf thing on the side or whatever. But yeah, I guess I don't really have a decision on like either or. It's just I want to keep both open and do both.
Yeah, nice, man. I mean, you're too young to really have to decide at this point, but I guess it is coming up that fork in the road for you. Which path do you reckon your skill set favors more?
I don't really know. I don't know. I love doing airs and like getting good waves and hanging out with all those boys. So I really enjoy the free surf part of it. But I don't know. I feel like lately I've been doing pretty well in the comps, and I don't know. As a junior, I did all right. So either or, really, it doesn't seem like I feel like I could go either way and have a bit of success or as much fun. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to make that CT and just have a crack. I feel like that's the dream that I first started off with. So to be able to do that would be epic. And then I don't know how Dane did it and went back and then went and free surfed. I feel like that's always an option. So to try and do it that way, maybe.
Yeah, okay. No, that's good that you have a clear kind of idea in mind and some people who've paved that path for you. I was going to ask too, like, you know, what do you reckon are the ingredients to a high profile free surfing career versus being a competitor these days? Like, what kind of skill set or what are the strengths and weaknesses in your surfing that will apply to free surfing versus competition?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a fair contrast between the two. I feel like free surfing, you can kind of do your own thing and you just get to chase waves and hang out with the people that you always want to hang out with. Like you're choosing who you're going away with and what you're doing. So there's a lot more under your control. Whereas the competitions, you're with everybody else that wants to be doing the same thing. So it gets I feel like that's the main thing is like being around crew that you either choose to be around or otherwise just being around everyone else that's at that comp scene. But both, I have just as much fun doing both. I feel like it's I don't know, the scene around the comps gets pretty hectic at times, but it's still fun to be a part of. And I don't know, competing and seeing everybody ripping at that level is epic. But yeah, I feel like they both have such different like vibes, and how you do it is fairly different. But yeah, it's epic.
Well, let's get into the contest result. I beat Joel Vaughan in the final, shoulder high rights into a nice air wind, which really played into your strengths, and you didn't miss, man. Yeah, put up a solid number in the final. I think it was a 7.67 for a double grab, pretty corked air reverse, and then a no grab air rev to cut back combo for an 8.67 and the win. Mate, talk us through the big moments in that event.
Yeah, Taiwan's such a sick place. Second time I've been over there now. I went over in 2019 for World Juniors and didn't have too much success, but I knew I wanted to go back next time that I had an opportunity to compete. And I don't know, the waves are epic. It's kind of like trestles, but with sort of like three takeoff spots and all waves are howling northerly into the right. So kind of suits my surfing, I feel like, or at least the surfing that I love doing. Um, and yeah, I had a really fun event, got through a few heats that were a bit shaky at times, and then to have a final with Joel again after breaking my ankle last year in the semis at Maroubra. It's always fun getting to compete against him. We're really good friends, and we're always just trying to. I feel like we don't do too much like competition stuff in heats together. We're always just trying to surf and give each other opportunity and see who can win that way. And yeah, the final was a little bit slow, but there was definitely chances, and I was just stoked to make a few airs, and yeah, it was heaps fun.
Mate, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree either. I noticed that both winners of this event are children of the core. Yourself, the son of Jeremy Walters, an elite surfer and 90s noughties WQS campaigner. And on the women's draw, Sarah Wakita, the daughter of the great Tayuki Wakita, the gaffed up pipeline kamikaze warrior, with part of the reef named after him there. How much of an influence has your old man had on your career?
Yeah, Dad's had a very big influence on everything to do with surfing for me. He's the reason why me and my brother got into it, I feel like, and the reason why we love the ocean so much. He's always taken us to the beach and I don't know, just made it so fun from the start. It's never been about anything else other than having fun. I feel like that's the main thing. And then getting to look up to him and watch him surf all the time, um, and seeing how much fun and how much he's still surfing these days is epic. So I feel like I don't know what he's done with us is has been amazing. It's been so much fun being able to like grow up and surf with him still and do the same thing that he did, I guess. Um, and yeah, like he still comes surfing now with us and does everything. I feel like he's still beating us in surfs and doing things. And yeah, no, it's epic.
Oh, that's magic, man. And yeah, your brother Harley also on an absolute tear, won the under 18s national surf champs at Stratty recently. What's the dynamic like between you two?
Yeah, it's sick. There's like we got pretty much 5 years in between me and Harles. So a pretty big age gap, but he's bigger than me already. And he's been doing so well recently. I feel like me and him just hang out and surf so often. It doesn't feel like I don't know, younger brother really. It feels like just someone that I always go surfing with, and I feel like it's been really good for each other to be able to push off each other, and I don't know, always surfing with and against each other, and like having fun together. So it's definitely helped us out.
And talk us through where his surfing's at. Like, what do you really identify as some of his strengths and key attributes?
Yeah, again, Hull's pretty big, so I feel like he throws heaps of spray and he does big turns for his age. Um, his backhand growing up on the point in Gary is pretty epic. I wish I had a backhand like that. It's definitely way better than mine. But yeah, I feel like just the way he puts waves together is so sick. That's probably my favorite thing about his surfing.
And just quickly, man, like Taiwan, what's good in Taiwan? What were you guys getting up to outside the contest? I'm super interested to know, what it's like culturally, what kind of a place it is.
Yeah, everyone that I've spoken to since I've been back, I've been saying how sick of a spot it is. It's mental. There's so many waves. Like where they run the comp, it's like a cobblestone sort of like trestle set up, and then like 5 minutes down the road, there's a sick river mouth that's similar. And then I feel like every like 10 or 15 k's further north, there's left hand points everywhere. It's like it's such a sick surfing zone with not many crew, and hell food actually. Heaps of dumplings and yeah, there's the food there is epic. People are really cool. And the landscape's it's crazy. It's like big cliffs right next to where you're staying. And then the water's so warm. It feels like a mix of like Hawaii and New Zealand, I feel like, or like home. It's like kind of that mix in between. It's epic.
Wow, that's really interesting. And I believe, I could be wrong, but a Maori mate was telling me that I think the Maoris or the Polynesians may have originated in Taiwan and made their way through the Mentawais and down like into the Pacific. So it kind of makes sense why there's some geographical and cultural similarities there. Yeah, between Hawaii and the Pacific. That's trippy, man. I'm psyched to go there. And back to the film, Vacuum, like, watching it and watching what you've been a part of lately, the clips you've been putting out, like you're really cementing a place as one of Australia's most, exciting and progressive surfers. I love that speed you're able to generate with your rangy frame and the explosive, like tail high flare you've got in your turns and aerial game. When did that part of your surfing really start to take off?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's the kind of surfing that I've always loved. I don't know, grew up watching so much of like Taj and even Kolohe and stuff like that. So the like fast twitch and stuff like that has always been a big thing for me. I always wanted to go really fast and then hit sections as like fast and quick as I can. I feel like I'm pretty long and gangly, so I kind of hit it on weird angles and I'm like flaring out in weird ways that are a bit different to most crew. But yeah, I guess just from such a young age, always they were like my favorite surfers. So watching heaps of that, I feel like that's all I wanted to do. As soon as I could surf, that was like my favorite part and what I've always wanted to do and still want to do.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite things about your surfing, just the way you're able to coordinate your what you said, gangly frame, and create just so much whip and like kind of corked rotation on your punts. Yeah, like that body type, it seems to lend itself to that variety of surfing. I look across the years, someone like James Caddo, an early aerialist, big tall frame, and an amazing style master just by the virtue of being able to coordinate so much height into such functional maneuvers and functional surfing. I think of Ryan Carlson, another kind of lost guy, like just a crazy punt merchant. Flynn Novak, came up with the backflip, basically a major pipeline specialist. There's not a heap of names though in that category of guys who've managed to use their height to an advantage. I mean, Geordie Smith's in that kind of bracket as well, but there's definitely a unique style and kind of biomechanical aspect to it that is a point of difference. You're right.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like even like Owen Wright or Ryan Callanan or someone like that, they've done it really well as well. I feel like, I don't know, I'm pretty light and skinny, but again, I'm tall enough and a bit rangy. So I feel like I can create stuff from that other than weight, which is like a different way to push and or a different way to like go through things, which, yeah, I don't know, it works for me.
And in terms of back to being a part of that Epokhe team, like, is it helpful having guys who've been in this game for so long at such a high level to lean on? Like, who's been particularly helpful out of that crew?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's epic having all those boys that have like already lived that path or like done most things that have been done in free surfing. So it's cool getting to work with them and have advice and stuff given off those crew. Just even, I don't know, going into the office and watching Kai put together that clip or show me my part was such a big thing, and that was so cool to see the way that he does it and the way that I don't know, I guess it's different to everybody else. And then even when we go away and travel and do like team trips, getting to see the way the boys work and their work ethic towards things, like they have heaps of fun, but they're always work first and they're always making sure they're getting stuff done, which is epic. I feel like people, I don't know, you don't get to see that much from the outside. You just see them having heaps of fun and surfing on the side or whatever. But when you're there, they're always in the water. They're always trying to do so much cool stuff in the water, and they're trying to make sure that that's definitely their first thing. So it's really cool to see that.
And most people who are listening to this, they won't have seen the film yet. What can we expect from it? What were some of your highlights?
Yeah, no, the film's epic. Creed's section was definitely the highlight for me. I feel like he's put a lot of effort into that, and some of the clips that he got over in West Oz shooting for that were incredible. A few big pits and a couple huge airs. And then I guess Oki's part was pretty sick to see. Yeah, all that unseen footage that no one's seen yet was bloody amazing. So that, and then just everyone else as a team, like all together surfing and having fun. I feel like the clip, it has a whole vibe, and it's epic for sure.
And mate, looking to the future, you're still young. So where else are you trying to kind of bolster and strengthen your surfing, and what are you doing to achieve that?
Yeah, I've just after I hurt myself last year, or at the start of this year, actually competing, I started training for the first time. Been spending a bit of time in the HPC, working with the physios in there, and trying to put a little bit of weight on, just training and getting a bit of strength. But yeah, just heaps of surfing. That's my main thing. I feel like more time in the water, the better for me. I don't do much other than surf, and I don't know. I feel like that's been working at the moment, and that's my main thing.
Sick, man. All right. Well, best of luck for the future. Can't wait to see it explode in whatever avenue you choose.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks for having us on.
See you,
Thank
brother.
you. See ya. Good to chat.
Yeah,
Thank you.
brother. See you, man. Thank you.
See ya.